All right, let's get right into it. On March 31st, 2026, something huge happened that basically sent a shockwave through the entire AI community. Anthropic, one of the most secretive and advanced AI labs out there, had the complete source code for their flagship coding agent, Claude Code, leaked to the public. It was a total accident, a massive oops, and in this explainer, we are going to unpack exactly what secrets came spilling out.
And honestly, that's the perfect way to think about what went down. For years, we've all been watching the magic tricks, right? We see these incredible AI agents doing things that feel impossible. But this leak, this was the moment the magician tripped on stage and the entire deck of cards, all the secrets, all the hidden mechanics, just scattered across the floor for every single one of us to see.
And man, it all happened so fast. It started in the morning with a hack. Just a few hours later, a user named Fried Rice found the golden ticket, the direct path to the code repository. By the afternoon, it was game over for containment. The code was mirrored, downloaded, and flying across the globe. The genie was officially out of the bottle. So you have to understand, this wasn't just any leak. This was the crown jewels. What got exposed was the very DNA of what many people consider the most advanced AI coding agent on the planet. We're talking about the architectural blueprint, the how-to guide for building a truly next-generation AI.
And just to give you a sense of the sheer scale here, we are talking about more than 500,000 lines of TypeScript. Yeah, you heard that right. This wasn't some small component. It was the whole puzzle. And you better believe developers everywhere immediately started digging in, not to cause trouble, but to finally get some answers.
The number one question on absolutely everyone's mind was, how does this thing really work under the hood? So the community wasn't just casually browsing the code. They were on a mission. They were hunting for the secret sauce, this almost mythical thing called the orchestration layer. So what even is the orchestration layer? Well, think of it as the brain behind the AI brain. It's the incredibly complex system that lets an AI agent go from being a simple chatbot in a little window to an actual functioning tool that can handle the messy, chaotic reality of a real software project. It's the thing that deals with huge files, permissions, and all the stuff that usually breaks these systems. This is the secret everyone wanted to find. And the first major discovery? Well, it completely rewrites what we thought we knew about how these AI agents think. It turns out Claude's personality, its very instructions, aren't pre-written. They're built from scratch for you in real time. We all kind of assumed there was just a single giant static text file somewhere that said, "You are a helpful assistant, follow these rules." But what the code revealed is so much more sophisticated. The system prompt is actually assembled dynamically, piece by piece, based on your specific situation at that very moment. The code literally shows a function called getSystemPrompt that acts like an assembly line. First, it checks your environment. Then it pulls your project's entire Git history to understand its past, it sees what tools you're actively using, and only then does it assemble the final hyper-contextual prompt. It's not a generic helper. It's becoming an expert on your project. So here's the key takeaway, the big aha moment. The agent isn't just a chatbot that you paste code into anymore. It effectively becomes a temporary senior engineer on your team, someone with deep historical context about your specific codebase. That right there is a fundamental leap in what an AI agent can do. Okay, so that's how it thinks. That's the brain. The next giant revelation was all about the infrastructure. How does this powerful brain that lives in the cloud securely connect to and actually control your computer sitting on your desk? This has always been a massive engineering and security challenge. The answer is a really clever system they call the mobile bridge. Basically, a small, safe server runs on your local machine, and it's constantly checking in with Anthropic servers, asking, "Hey, got any new instructions for me? Anything?" So when you issue a command from your phone, it gets sent up to the cloud, processed, and then relayed right back down to your computer for execution. And what's super cool is that the code shows their engineering evolution. You could see two different versions of this system. Version 1 was this clunky hybrid thing. But version 2 uses a much more modern and robust protocol called server-sent events, or SSE, which is way more resilient.
So why should you even care about V2 versus V1? It's simple. Think about when your internet connection flickers for just a second. With the old system, that might confuse the agent. With V2, it doesn't matter. The agent doesn't get derailed or lose its place. It can pick up right where it left off, making sure not a single part of its thought process gets lost. It's a game changer for reliability. But this whole remote control thing brings us to probably the most critical question of all. If this AI is in the cloud, how can you possibly trust it with powerful, potentially dangerous commands on your own machine? How do you give it permission to, say, delete your entire project folder without just handing over the keys to the kingdom?
Their solution is just incredibly elegant and simple. The remote agent can't do anything dangerous on its own. It has to send a specific request for permission. Then, a native, secure pop-up appears on your computer or your phone, something you control. Only after you physically tap Allow does a response get sent back to the cloud, telling the agent, OK, you're cleared to proceed. You are always in the driver's seat.
So, we've looked at how it thinks and how it connects to your machine. But when you start putting all of these pieces together, you realize the final revelation here isn't about one single cool feature. It's about a complete and total shift in what an AI agent is and what it can be.
And this is the core thesis, the big idea that came out of analyzing all this code. The reason Claude Code is so powerful isn't just because of the AI model itself. It's because they've built the entire system around it, a distributed operating system designed from the ground up specifically for an artificial intelligence to live and work inside.
This system, this operating system for intelligence, it solves the biggest headaches that have plagued agentic AI for years. It solves the latency problem with clever caching. It solves the massive trust issue with that secure permission flow we just talked about. And it solves the problem of memory, or state, with long-term management. And the result of all that? It's something way beyond a chatbot. It's a true autonomous teammate.
So this leak really did mark the end of an era. The black box is wide open. The blueprint for building a true AI teammate is now out there, in the wild, for everyone to see. The magician's trick has been revealed. And the question this leaves all of us with is a really big one. What happens now that everyone knows how it's done?